Good, happy Wednesday evening. I'm Riley King, and welcome to Sports with Riley King. Let's begin. First up, Dallas Cowboys and Baltimore Ravens game. Let's take a look at that final score from their game last night. And here's a check of the final score from their game last night. Dallas Cowboys 17 and Baltimore Ravens 34. The Baltimore Ravens won the game last night. Congratulations, Baltimore Ravens. New Hampshire College Hockey delayed 3 weeks. UNH resides for opener reboot. During pre-practice meeting this preseason, University of New Hampshire defenseman said the coach emphasized the day-to-day nature of this campaign during the COVID-19 pandemic. NHL has potential start date for next season, NHLPA sources say. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
Jimmy is a boy, saved from leukemia by Dr. Sydney Farber. Jimmy is a girl, a nephew, a husband.
Looks like we could see the NHL season start January 13th. The source at the NHL Players Association tells me that's the date they are focused on. When I asked about the number of games they'll play, I was told, quote, that's being discussed. Nothing has been finalized. There are reports it would be a 56-game schedule. A source of the league seemed optimistic about the January 13th date, but did say nothing is set in stone because the NHL Board of Governors and the players have not voted on this yet.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Random marijuana testing in NBA goes up in smoke. Let's take a listen to that video from WCVB Boston.
Jimmy is a boy, saved from leukemia by Dr. Sydney Farber. Jimmy is a girl, a nephew, a husband.
This is SportsCenter 5 2-minute drill. Random marijuana testing in the NBA has gone up in smoke for the 2021 season. The league announced it won't test for marijuana this season, citing the unusual circumstances of the pandemic. Now, a few caveats: past offenders or those providing reasonable cause can technically still trigger a test. But still, this feels like a step towards abolishing testing altogether. The NBA didn't conduct random tests in its Orlando bubble either. Well, I say it's about time. Sports can be a vehicle seizing the pole position in societal change, leading the way on integration, for instance. But sports can also lag behind, as with equal opportunity and pay for female athletes and coaches. It feels like sports is in the trail position when it comes to societal attitudes on marijuana use. The drug is now legal in 15 states, plus the District of Columbia, while 34 states allow it for medicinal use. Cannabis can be used to cope with anxiety, as a pain treatment, or even a sleep aid. Now, the NBA is the most progressive and player-driven of the major sports leagues. Players like Kevin Love and DeMar DeRozan have spoken openly and honestly about the mental health challenges they've encountered as high-profile pro athletes. With the advent of social media, athletes are under a microscope in a way they've never been before. Angst and anxiety can be crippling, regardless of the number of zeros in your paycheck. Sometimes they increase directly proportionally to your level of fame. Athletes are also entertainers, and we all know there's a long history of entertainers using marijuana. So why is it acceptable in one creative field and taboo in another? Marijuana won't make you bigger, faster, or stronger on the field like HGH or steroids. There's no competitive benefit from a basketball standpoint. Sports leagues should focus on rooting out PEDs that do tilt the competitive balance instead of vilifying marijuana. Player estimates are that half of NBA players already use the drug. Former NBA player Al Harrington started a business that markets and produces cannabis products for medicinal and recreational use. That's how familiar he was with it. Look, even the fusty NFL loosened its marijuana rules back in April, no longer suspending players for positive tests, raising the threshold for a positive, and limiting testing to the first 2 weeks of training camp. Attitudes about marijuana socially and economically are changing. It's time for sports leagues to change along with them. That's the 2-minute drill.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that did it for this Wednesday evening edition of Sports with Riley King. Thank you for watching and have a great rest of your evening. Good night, goodbye everyone.